this Rabbit pickup truck that I have. I actually got pretty jacked up a couple of years ago, or about 2 years ago. I stopped driving it because I got the Volkswagen Sport Wagon, and I built this for a work truck, and it doesn't have a lot of leg room. It has a lot of problems always with the wiring harness, which I've pretty much got a way to solve that now, and I'm going to fix that. But it's not very comfortable for me, so I haven't been driving it, and I'm going to go ahead and fix it. And a lot of people wanted to buy it. I was like, nah, you guys don't understand. This motor cost me a lot of money. And he's, I'll give you $3,000 for it. It's like, dude, I got more than that in the motor. Come on, you know. This has got a turbocharger, aftermarket turbo, TDI turbo in it. It's 1.9 liter naturally aspirated motor, which is the same as the naturally aspirated 1.9 and the turbo 1.9 are exactly 100% the same motor. They just put the turbo on the other one. It has the same pistons and everything. FYI, if you're trying to do that, highly recommend the 1.9 over the 1.6. Has a lot more usable power. But anyway, I'm going to actually run through this here and rebuild it, and then decide what I'm going to do with it. Kind of in limbo right now because the TDI emission scandal, I don't know if they're going to come up with a fix for the 2009 Jetta that I have, Sport Wagon, and I may end up having to go back into this thing and use it for a work truck again. So I'm going to go over some of the stuff I'm going to do to this. I'm going to make it look really cool again, and I'm actually going to, so one of the reasons it got so jacked up is I was working on a national coffee house that everybody knows, the largest coffee house in America, on their stupid driveways. And I was doing something called thermoplastics, which you take a torch and you torch down these arrows on the ground, and you torch those down, and when you put those down, you put down a glue. Before you do that when it's on concrete. Well, I did it on everything, but when it's on everything, and that glue is everywhere. If you see this brown crap, it ended up on the side of the truck. Can't be cleaned off. Have to chip it off pretty much. And we were driving about 300 miles a night at pretty high speeds, because this truck moves out. Okay. We had to have the program done by 4 in the morning. So we'd be in the desert, and then at San Diego, and then sometimes in Long Beach in the same day. So it was pretty crazy when that was going on, and it wasn't giant profitable. The company I was doing it for, it was fairly profitable for them, and they're a good customer. So we wanted to work it out for them because they were kind of short on capital at that time, and we wanted to make sure that they were there for us on the other programs that we do. So anyway, I'm gonna run through, fix some of the motor issues. Not really any issues with the motor. The motor's super strong, runs like a champ. One of the things I have a problem with, and haven't been able to narrow it down. Maybe somebody could chime in and tell me where to look. I don't think I have a head gasket problem. I've replaced the cooler down there, but it's always had this, and I think it was just in the oil when I got it. It's always had some oil in the coolant looking stuff, and it doesn't have any pressure in the coolant system, so it's not diesel fuel. It never overheats. It just runs a little hot because it just runs hot. I mean, it's not the motor. It's not overheating or anything like that. I think maybe the radiator's a bit restricted, and it's overfueled a little bit, so that makes it run hot. Get the EGTs up a little bit, makes the motor run a little hot, especially when you're on it all the time, or you have the air on for a long period of time. it'll start to run a little bit hot. Doesn't generally overheat. But I'm going to run through and I'm going to paint this again, get it back looking good, put the duckbill on it, and then decide where I'm going to keep it, sell it, or do what I'm going to do. But it's got to be nice before I do that. It has to be, I'd like to fix that motor problem, but I don't know if I'll be able to figure it out. I'm certainly not going to just take the head off for nothing, because I don't think there's any cracks like that. It doesn't run like there is, but it got really beat up from driving around to all those coffee houses and putting those things on in the middle of the night. So that's why I haven't done any videos on it in a while. We're going to be doing some cool videos on this truck, because this thing does a killer burnout like you've never seen. And we got our new GoPros coming. Not GoPro, I've got a different camera that's even better and cheaper than the GoPro. And got some new ones coming. I got all the mounts and everything in the mail the other day, and we're gonna do some cold cam shots and some cool stuff like that. So you guys want to tune in that are just checking this out for the first time, and see what we're gonna do with this truck. And I was gonna do my camper van, but this thing's gonna rust if I don't get something on that quarter right there. I buried it real heavy with primer, but primer doesn't really hold out. It's got the polyester primer, so it does hold out from the rust for quite a while if you really bury it, put a lot of coats on. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead, and as long as it's not sanded, once you sand it, it's open, man, it's going to rust. Yeah, I did a bunch of suspension work to this truck. Everything's redone, except for I had issues with the wiring, and that's kind of why I stopped driving it. The taillight stopped working. And basically, it's just the wiring harness where it plugs into the fuse stuff is where I have problems. The plugs go in the back are just a bad design, Volkswagen typical. I mean, all the way from 1950 to about 1960s when they started using slip-on connectors, all the way up till today with a brand new 06, 09, 10, 14, whatever, Jetta, Volkswagen, any Volkswagen has problem with the wiring. Wiring was crap. If VW's listening, your wiring is shit. And it's been that way for many, many years. Okay? So I got to do some cleaning to the contacts and stuff, and I was looking at a video on that, using that vinegar and water thing, and I've got a much better way to do it than that, because that stuff is crap. So I'll be doing a video on that for those of you who have one of these rabbits and have problems with your wiring harnesses not connecting. I'm going to do some videos on that. I've got right now, I got the battery on the trickle charger, the crappy battery that I got from the rebuild shop. They gave me a lemon. It lasted about, didn't even last, it wasn't even right. He didn't even do it right, whatever he did. So we're trying the method. Oh, notice I'm a little over full there. Let's suck that out. We'll be trying the method using the Epsom salt. I actually did the clean out thing, and I'll be doing a review on that too, so you guys that are tuned in already, or new guys want to find out if that really works. I mean, I think it does, but I don't know if it's gonna on this battery or not. I was really surprised how quickly the battery started accepting a charge when I put the Epsom salt solution in it. It just jumped right up. I thought, oh, it'll be really slow to charge. It's not hot, so that's a good thing. So it's probably charged up or getting there. We'll see how that works, and then we're going to get this thing back on the road, get it running, get the wiring fixed, and we'll be doing some cool videos on this truck. This is really cool. These are really cool if you're like 5'10" or shorter. It's a great truck. You know, it hauls ass. I mean, you gotta have small feet too, because the gas pedal and brake pedal are real close together. But it's, you know, it's a pain in the ass. The other thing I'm having issues with are the shifters, because when you put the aftermarket turbo on, you end up with problems. You know, there's my shifter stuff down there. Can't see it, but you have to play with the shift lengthening and shortening of the shifter stuff. And you know, on Volkswagens, if it's not perfect, it doesn't work. So I had it right, and then the transmission, this is kind of what happened, at kind of the end of why I stopped driving it. The transmission got stuck in third. There's a famous thing or infamous thing that happens with the wonderful Volkswagen transmission. If you shift it hard into third, and which I did, it can get stuck, and basically it's like almost impossible to get out. I looked at a lot of YouTube videos, and basically at that point, you know, it was cheaper just to get another trans. So, plus my second gear synchro was pretty wasted. I killed it like after maybe 10 minutes driving it with the other motor speed shifting. So that happens. So anyway, and then maybe if we get it running right, we'll take it down the track, and we'll be doing some videos on quarter-mile times and stuff like that. I want to do some stuff with this before I sell it or keep it or whatever I'm going to do. I don't know. Anyway, we'll be doing some videos on the Rabbit coming up. See ya.